Yo, what's going on, everybody? It's your boy Naruto Explain here, bringing you guys another Boruto Naruto Next Generation discussion regarding Boruto's time skip and the in-universe narrative implications of Sarada's brilliant new time skip design that was made official yesterday. And just by going off the comment section in yesterday's video, there were a lot of you guys who took the same stance that I did on Sarada's design, which is that it was an open act of defiance against Kawaki, and it's something that definitely will be a major part of the story moving forward, because this is just subtle enough that it gets her intentions across and defiant enough that it should piss off Kawaki once he realizes what it is that she's done. And it's a direct slap in the face of anyone who is still saying in 2023 that they miss when the Naruto franchise had ninja elements. And it's actually going to be at that last point that I want to start things off today, because I wanted to take a second to appreciate how this was a one decision by Sarada is one of the major embodiments of the heart of Naruto's manga, which is the whole concept of deception and a ninja being forced to see through deception. Everything about Sarada's official design reeks of that obvious Easter egg that we've seen and that we went over yesterday, like her wearing the Uchiha clan symbol as her earrings, which is a bold declaration of her standing by the honor of the clan, despite what many people may have viewed as Sasuke dishonoring the clan by turning his back on Naruto by assisting the boy who everyone thinks killed Naruto. Normally the Uchiha clan crest is on the backs of the Uchiha, but here we have Sarada wearing the crest as her earrings, letting it be known without a shadow of a doubt to anyone that sees her in and outside of the village that she's actually Uchiha, and that's done without her having to cut on her Sharingan. That's more bold than her wearing the symbol of her mother's clan, because her clan wasn't anything special. The same is true with her wearing the jacket as black as Boruto but has red lining to show solidarity with Boruto, with the subtle visual nods to Boruto, which we can double down on this being intentional, because just based off of what we saw with the haircut is shorter and it mirrors Boruto's haircut to a degree. One of you guys in the comment section perfectly nailed it in terms of what I was trying to get across in yesterday's video, which is that Sarada's entire time skip wardrobe change is meant to subtly remind people of the village about Boruto, the boy who they once viewed as being a hero but now incorrectly view him as being a villain. Sarada is smart enough to know what I'm about to say, which is because as we've seen in the series, Sarada is a bookworm, and what she's doing is no different than what an Uchiha does when they use Sharingan Genjutsu. Subtle changes of manipulation to make illusion look like reality. A true master of deception understands the importance of priming the mind of someone that they're about to pull a work on, something the 48 laws of power hammers home and something that the art of seduction hammers home. Subtle things to program the subconsciousness of your target. For instance, if you consistently see a number, say the number 26, since Saquon Barkley is my favorite New York Giants player, say you see the number 26 all throughout the day in various places because they've been intentionally placed there by someone planning to pull a work on you. A poster in the hotel lobby with Saquon on it, or a poster in the hotel lobby with the number 26, a picture of Saquon wearing the number 26 jersey on a bus or on a taxi. You see people wearing the number 26. The news station that you're watching is News Channel 26. Seemingly everywhere that they look, they see the number 26, meaning subtle suggestions are everywhere and the programming is taking place. All those small little things create the voice in the back of your head to make you aware and conscious of the number 26. It's the same thing here with Sarada and what it is that she's accomplishing. The Uchiha earrings on display are to remind people of Sasuke, right in their face where she knows that they can see it, instead of relying at them looking at her back, which is where the Uchiha crest normally is, but there's no guarantee that they would actually be looking at her back. But she can make sure that they will see the crest on her earrings, because they have to look at her when they speak to her and they have to see it when they look in her direction. It's the same thing with the patterning of her jacket choice and the hair loosely being a nod to Boruto. It's a subtle reminder. Pink for the most part is considered to be a tint of red, and they cross over well due to the similarity. It's also a subtle reminder there used to be a hero who walked around in a black jacket with pink underneath and with pink stripes on it. What some people tend to think is intuition is really just programming when you really break it down like that. The only people who should be able to pick up on it immediately are those who know the truth about the Shinjutsu. Damon, Eida, Kawaki, and Sumire. With any luck, those subtle cues will get the attention of someone as smart as Shikamaru, or as smart as Kakashi, or as smart as Amato, and begin to make make one of them question the reality of what they're seeing, in particular the first two, because they know all too well that a shinobi has to see through deception. Something of this magnitude that is so subtle and so shinobi-like is fitting of a girl who aspires to be the next Hokage after Naruto. It's a shinobi type of a move, especially due to it showing that she knows that she isn't strong enough to openly defy Kawaki, and that even if she was strong enough to take him down, due to everyone's perception of Kawaki being Naruto's son, it would be futile. Even if she defeated Kawaki, it would come at the cost of winning the war. The Shinjutsu actively suppresses people's perception of the truth, but she's doing just enough to subtly give people their subconscious urge to fight back. Something that Sasuke tells us is harder to do as more time passes on. It makes him overlook things that should bother him. This is Sarada using a shinobi tactic of manipulation to fight against the chakra manipulation of the Shinjutsu to alter the memories of everyone. And this makes even more sense when you look at the fact that Sarada was the one who called into question Amato's claims of Shinjutsu being the true version of ninjutsu, and took offense to the fact that all ninjutsu is a cheap imitation of Shinjutsu. Where things get even more interesting is that we run into another situation. If Kawaki takes note of what it is that Sarada's doing, she's placed him in a position where if he chooses to retaliate, he runs the risk of exposing himself and giving Sarada exactly what it is that she wants. Sarada right now is the only Uchiha left in the village. We saw in part 1 of Naruto, the moment it became clear that Orochimaru was getting his hands on the Sharingan via Sasuke's defection, Tsunade sent a team of what she had available after him, and even the Akatsuki noted in the manga in volume 27 that this could make Orochimaru more troublesome once Zetsu confirmed to the Akatsuki that the Sharingan, i.e. Sasuke, was now in Orochimaru's possession. Ninja villages place extreme value on their Kekkei Genkai, something that we know to be the case even in the Boruto era, just based off of the Shikamaru Shinden story, where the Tsuchikage shares her worries that Konoha might one day be able to develop ninja tech that can replicate the Kekkei Genkai of other villages, taking away any tactical advantage that the shinobi villages have should there actually be a peace treaty that falls apart. Sasuke is gone. Sasuke is viewed as being their enemy. In most circumstances, you can only fight the Sharingan with another Sharingan, unless you find measures around it, like Hashirama did by just being him, and Tobirama did with the Warring States era using trickery. Deidara and Guy found a way to do so in Naruto's modern era, and in the Boruto era, they created smoke bombs that can briefly blind the dojutsu of someone with the Kekkei Genkai, which is how Ishiki didn't know where Kawaki was, or even be able to see that he made a shadow clone because his dojutsu was rendered useless. That's going to make Sarada one of, if not the most valuable asset against Sasuke in the eyes of Konoha's higher-ups, and most importantly, Kakashi and Shikamaru both know how their Eternal Mangekyo Sharingan is gained, and now that Sarada has a Mangekyo, they know blindness will be a factor. They know you have to transplant the Mangekyo of another close relative, and for Sarada, that close relative is Sasuke. They're going to want Sarada to have that power, including the boost that should exist in theory from her being the first person to ever transplant an Eternal Mangekyo Sharingan into her eyes, potentially leading to an even larger boost given that this has never happened before in the series due to how rare it is to even canonically awaken the Mangekyo, let alone have two close relatives with the Mangekyo at the same time, let alone one of those close relatives having an Eternal Mangekyo Sharingan to transplant into somebody who has a Mangekyo. Sarada is a valuable asset for Konoha, and her status is something that will be monitored, even if she isn't already, due to being the daughter of a traitor who killed the Hokage in a lot of people's eyes. If for no other reason than the thought crossing Kakashi or Shikamaru's mind that her father might try and contact her since she's his daughter, or he might try and contact Sakura, who is her mother and Sasuke's wife, at some point in the future. Kawaki can't directly harm Sarada without blowing up his cover. It's narratively a quiet cold war between the two, where they're waiting on the other one to slip up, similar to how in Kaguya-sama Love is War, where Kaguya is waiting for the present to confess his love to her and vice versa, with both of them employing underhanded tactics to get a confession, which I will be uploading a video on KRYPTONIAN saying, going over that story, since I'm currently in the process of reading it, probably about a month out from actually doing that. Sarada isn't seeking romance from Kawaki, like say how Kaguya was seeking romance from the class president, but she's doing enough to put him on notice, and I do believe just based off of human nature, we're going to see Sarada, when she has success, try and push it too far, or Kawaki's going to panic when he realizes that Sarada's ploy might actually be working, and that leads to a mistake being made in a game between two very intelligent, observant characters in Kawaki and Sarada. I personally love what we're seeing right here. It's not too different from how some of the cover designs in Naruto's manga for the chapters that you got ended up foreshadowing future powers, future sensei, alliances, and other reveals. It's easy to chalk this up as being an aesthetic design choice in both of those cases, but for a franchise that consistently uses deception even on the readers, even in the Boruto era where the names of all the car enters have tech puns, which sadly Viz Media's English translation department did not catch the pun like Eida's name like they did with bug and code, whereas the Spanish translators actually did catch it. If they wanted to consolidate the spelling of the names to Romaji, it would be Kodo, not code, but they caught that and they fixed it. It would be Bago, not bug, but they caught it and fixed it, but they missed the ADA portion of Eida spelling by using EIDA, by using the literal lettering and not honoring the context that comes from the pun behind the names, which plays into the names and the personalities, subtle messages in the design, the names, and the kanji, especially for the ninjutsu for people like Mei, the 5th Mizukage. It's been a staple of the Naruto franchise since its inception, going all the way back to chapter 1 of the franchise itself. So I don't think that this is overthinking it at all, because the best indicator of future behavior is past behavior. How do you guys feel about Sarada's design and Sarada's open act of defiance? While you think that over, click here to watch my Chainsaw Man chapter review.